Hi, what's up? My name is Adam, and you are on Cyber Raccoon channel. Today I'm going to tell you about new and updating online games. Please watch the video to the end, subscribe our channel, and you will always be aware of what to play today. Outriders. Co-op shooter with RPG elements from the creators of Gears of War and Bulletstorm, inviting a group of 3 people to take part in bloody gunfights on the outskirts of a dark fantasy world. The plot tells about the unsuccessful attempt of humanity to colonize the new planet Enoch, where people faced a powerful energy storm that kills some and gives superpowers to others. The Poles from People Can Fly managed to competently combine elements of a shooter and an RPG so players can create a character in one of 4 classes and pump abilities as they level up, as well as look for the best loot. And all this is combined with fierce and fast firefights in the best traditions of Gears of War. Valheim. The survival simulator weighing 1 GB has achieved what large budget AAA level projects from the giants of the gaming industry could not. It quickly won a huge audience, and users left over 185,000 reviews on Steam in 2 months. There are many reasons for success. Firstly, Scandinavian mythology is taken as a basis, and you survive from the perspective of a Viking on a huge island. Secondly, RPG elements with passive skill leveling and killing bosses are woven into the gameplay. Thirdly, as a survival simulator, the game is rich in details and does not let you get bored even after dozens of hours of playing. You can play this miracle in multiplayer mode with an emphasis on cooperative play. It is even more interesting to survive in the Viking world with friends. It Takes Two. Studio Hazelight, known for the cooperative action A Way Out about the escape of 2 comrades from prison, decided to further develop in this genre, as can be judged by the release of It Takes Two. This co-op project kicked off even better than their previous creation, and in it you and a friend will learn the fairy tale of 2 lovers, Cody and May, who turned into rag dolls. A touching and deep plot awaits you, and the gameplay is filled with puzzles, to solve which you will need to use the unique abilities of the heroes. Gamers fell in love with the project from the very start, which means this is a great opportunity to have fun. Worms Rumble. Worms Rumble returns to the screens of players Crazy Worms, which are waging an endless war with each other for fun. Fans of nostalgia will not be able to experience this feeling, since this creation is far from the classics. For example, the battles here unfold in real time, the 16:16 format, and the 2D format is changed to 2.5D. If we exclude these innovations, which, by the way, please the users, this is the same driving action game with rich customization and an impressive arsenal of weapons, in which there is a place for both classic firearms and explosive granny. League of Angels, Heaven's Fury. The League of Angels series should be given its due. Starting as a simple browser, it has grown to 4 games, and with the release of each one can see progress in terms of graphics and gameplay. Heaven's Fury is the 4th part, and it even visited Steam, even if it did not become popular there. Players must once again save the fantasy world from devastation by creating a hero and embarking on classic MMORPG adventures. Unlike the previous parts, the graphics have become completely 3-dimensional, and the battles are much more dynamic due to the isometric perspective. Recommended for fans of the genre. Sea of Thieves. At the start, the cooperative MMO about the pirates Sea of Thieves caused nothing but disgust, but the developers managed to put the project in order, for which they earned the love of thousands of audiences. In Sea of Thieves, you will immerse yourself in the life of a pirate like nowhere else. See adventures with friends, island exploration, treasure hunting, battles with skeletons, hunting legendary monsters, and many other activities of that era await you. There are no restrictions. You are free to do what you want, but always remember about other gamers that they can be completely unfriendly. Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. Funny freaks jostle and try to reach the finish line among the first in the unusual Battle Royale Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, the gameplay of which will remind you of the TV show Big Races or the like. Together with dozens of players, you will have to go through a series of different tests, both single and team, and in the final fight for the coveted crown. Of interest here are the tests themselves, mostly obstacle courses that gamers go through together. They can push and grab each other, so success often depends not only on attentiveness and straight arms, but it's fun. Grounded in early access, co-op survival simulator Grounded takes you into a microcosm where teenagers, reduced to the size of insects, struggle to cope with the harsh nature. Well, it's harsh. Ants, wasps, and spiders take on the roles of predators, and even from the leaves you can build a fairly reliable shelter. Together, players can go through a mystical storyline or simply survive by obtaining resources and food, building attractive houses, fighting insects, and exploring an unusually familiar game world. Phasmophobia. Another co-op game for 4 gamers, but this time in the horror genre. In the role of hunters for the paranormal, you will complete a lot of contracts for your work and explore various locations in search of mystical entities. If it seems to you that playing horror films with friends is much more fun, then Phasmophobia will dispel this fact. Phasmophobia is loved for its realism. The monsters here are taken from real legends about ghosts, poltergeists, banshees, and others, and they all have unique habits. As an expert, you first find out what kind of entity is terrorizing the customer, and then you will try to cope with it using old-fashioned methods, using ultraviolet lamps, salt, crosses, and other means. And all this is fueled by a depressing atmosphere and ignorance of what awaits you in the dark. Red Dead Online is a multiplayer mode for Red Dead Redemption 2 that was released as a standalone game on Steam in 2020. As in the original, you will immerse yourself in the life of the Wild West and play the role of a cowboy with all the ensuing consequences, but get ready to do it along with hundreds of other gamers who can either keep company or become sworn enemies. In Red Dead Online, you choose your role. For example, you can become a servant of the law and hunt criminals, or go from a vagabond to a bandit leader. No one interferes with peaceful pursuits such as fishing, hunting, trading, and treasure hunting. There are also more creative cases: the production of moonshine, the study of the secrets of the animal world. In general, in this Wild West you will definitely not get bored. Lost Ark is a Korean MMORPG, announced back in 2014 and even then made a splash even in the Western media. So why has Lost Ark been so eagerly anticipated? First, because of the class system. There are already 18 of them, and each of them differs not only in skills, but also in the type of energy that is used for them, in the way of its accumulation. At the same time, skills can be pumped in different directions, which allows you to create completely different characters, even within the same class. It's also nice that characters of different classes are quite self-sufficient when you need to survive alone, but at the same time they complement each other well in a group. Secondly, the world of the game is really huge, with a bunch of interactive objects, puzzles, and secrets, and the locations are pleasing to the eye even for a European gamer. Thirdly, the course of the battle in Lost Ark depends not only on the skills of the players, but also on the environment. For example, if you hit the boss on the ice, he may well crack under you. You will have to rely on your comrades, hoping that they will pull you out. World of Warcraft Classic. Starting August 27, 2019, fans of Blizzard's legendary brainchild can enjoy a vanilla version of World of Warcraft. Despite the fact that with each fresh addition to the legendary MMORPG, new content is being introduced in the form of new locations, races, dungeons, and other the release of Wrath of the Lich King in 2008. In addition, the more dead content and plot blunders and quests appeared in the game. And so Blizzard decided to please players with the classic version of WoW, in which everything will be logical, complex, and the old-fashioned way. Even the bugs that were present in the game, they decided to leave so that gamers remembering vanilla can relive the exciting moment of acquaintance with the game and shed a nostalgic tear. Astellia Online. Astellia is a Korean MMORPG that will appeal to fans of taking pets with them into battle and those who miss all sorts of things. In general, the gameplay looks quite standard: complete quests, upgrade your character, look for cooler clothes, and beat the villains. What's unusual about the game is the pet system. Here they are called Astellami, and they were called into this world with a noble purpose: not to let evil devour it. You can walk around the world in 3 Astellas at the same time, and each of them can have a different specialization, but it is not so easy to get the ability to summon them. The elements of the CCG are already revealed here. You can get a pet by getting a special card that can be awarded for completing a certain quest. You can also knock it out of someone in the dungeon. Apex Legends. On February 4, 2019, another project was added to the list of battle royals. And if most studios are trying to recreate the very same PUBG in different settings in one way or another, Respawn Entertainment went the other way and mixed the ingredients of several games in Apex Legends. including their own, for example, Titanfall. And they did it very well. After all, in the end, they managed to simultaneously get into the trend and create something new. For example, if in most of these games at the start the heroes of different players differ in appearance at the most, then in Legends Before the Battle you can take turns choosing one of several proposed unique heroes, just like in Dota. Each of the heroes belongs to one of 4 specialties: attack, defense, support, and reconnaissance, and has their own unique skills. The game is distributed free of charge, and monetization is carried out mainly through the sale of the Battle Pass. In the first month after the release, Legends was played by several million people, so in 2019, not PUBG, then at least Fortnite had a serious competitor. If your favorite game is not included in this list, write it in the comments. Thanks for watching. Subscribe our channel, press like, turn on notifications, and you will always be aware of what to play today. To be continued.